Imagine a leader so powerful, he organized the first successful strike in all of French-controlled Africa. A man who dared to say no to Charles de Gaulle. This is the story of Ahmed Sékou Touré, a name largely absent from Western history books, yet a pivotal figure in the struggle for African liberation. Born in 1922 in Ferena, Guinea, Sékou Touré's early life hinted at the revolutionary spirit that would define him. Some sources suggest a lineage connecting him to Sékou Touré, the legendary 19th-century resistance leader who fought valiantly against French colonization. Whether or not blood truly linked them, Sékou Touré undoubtedly inherited that same spirit of defiance. His journey began not in the halls of power, but in the trenches of the labor movement. In the 1940s, he secured a clerk position at Niger Francais Company. By 1941, he moved into an administrative role at the Postal Service, but it was his union activities that truly ignited his passion. He recognized the systemic exploitation of African workers and dedicated himself to fighting for their rights. Long before he became a political icon, Sékou Touré was a labor organizer. His relentless advocacy culminated in a 76-day strike, the first successful labor action of its kind in French-controlled Western Africa. This wasn't just a local victory, it was a beacon of hope for workers across the region, a testament to the power of collective action. It was during this time that he formed close ties with senior labor leaders, connections that would prove invaluable as he transitioned into the political arena. The Second World War had weakened the grip of European powers, and a wave of independence movements swept across the African continent. In 1958, French President Charles de Gaulle offered France's colonies a choice: join a new French community or choose immediate independence, with all the risks that entailed. Every French-controlled colony, except one, voted to join the French community. That one courageous exception was Guinea, led by Sékou Touré. On September 28, 1958, the Guinean people, with an overwhelming majority, voted yes to independence, rejecting de Gaulle's offer and charting a bold new course. This single act reverberated across Africa. Guinea became the first French African colony to break free, inspiring other nations to demand their own sovereignty. Touré's defiance sent shockwaves through the French establishment and forced a reassessment of colonial policies. For 26 years, Sékou Touré ruled Guinea as its president. His leadership was marked by both remarkable achievements and troubling contradictions. On the international stage, he was known as a genial leader, a key figure in the organization of African unity, and a mediator in conflicts like the Iraq-Iran War. He even participated in France-Africa summits, a testament to his complex relationship with his former colonizer. But within Guinea, his rule took a more authoritarian turn. He adopted a tough stance against opposition parties, a stark contrast to his international image. Some argue that the strong-arm approach was necessary to maintain stability in a newly independent nation, while others condemn it as a betrayal of the democratic ideals he once espoused. One of Sékou Touré's most significant acts of Pan-African solidarity came in 1966 when he granted asylum to Ghana's ousted President Kwame Nkrumah. Nkrumah, a fellow champion of African unity, found refuge in Guinea, where he continued to advocate for a united Africa. This act solidified Touré's reputation as a staunch Pan-Africanist, willing to stand by his fellow leaders even in the face of adversity. He actively worked towards establishing unity with Ghana, but the relationship ultimately didn't produce much in the way of tangible results. During his tenure, Touré faced numerous challenges, including a failed attack from Portuguese Guinea, now Guinea-Bissau. This act of aggression underscored the precariousness of Guinea's newfound independence and the determination of colonial powers to maintain their influence. Sékou Touré's legacy is complex and multifaceted. He was a pioneer of labor organizing, a defiant champion of independence, and a key player in the development of Pan-African institutions. The OU structures he helped develop evolved into the African Union, a testament to his enduring influence on the continent. He established a template for anti-colonial labor movements across Francophone Africa and sheltered Nkrumah, demonstrating solidarity among independence leaders. Yet, his authoritarian governance and suppression of dissent remain a stain on his record. So, why is Sékou Touré often overlooked in Western narratives of African history? Several factors contribute to his relative obscurity. He was overshadowed by more charismatic figures like Nkrumah, Senghor, and Lumumba. His authoritarian governance record undermines the simplistic liberation narrative often presented in Western media. There is a limited amount of English-language scholarship available, with much of the research focused on French sources. He wasn't assassinated or violently overthrown, unlike Lumumba, Sankara, or Tolbert. This longevity paradoxically reduces his visibility. He simply doesn't fit the tragic hero archetype that often dominates Western narratives of African leaders. Despite